Heat 3. In the water, we have Heat 3 of 12 for the men's 400 individual medley. In lane 1 is David Sundius, South Bay Swim Team. Lane 2, Mike Phillips, Ensworth Aquatics. Lane 3, Brendan Hickey, Long Beach Grunions. Lane 4, Jim Clemens, Sawtooth Masters. Lane 5 is Brent Washburn, Oregon Masters. Lane 6, Richard Howell, Oregon Masters. Lane 7, Jeffrey Krieger, Golden Road Aquatics. And in lane 8 is James Lavery, Arizona Masters. And Brent Washburn from Oregon Masters in lane 5 is leading the pack with a split time of 127.10 for the butterfly leg. And Brent Washburn, lane 5 from Oregon Masters, still leading the pack. Next heat will be Heat 4. In lane 1 will be Philippe Mayer. Lane 2, Owen Lubeau. Lane 3 will be Emmanuel Torres. Lane 4, Justin Reynolds. Lane 5, Brian Kaiser. Lane 6, Algernon Keith. Lane 7 will be Ian King. And in lane 8 will be Reed Pazuski. And after the breaststroke leg, lane 5, Brent Washburn is still in the lead. And Brent Washburn from Oregon Masters wins the heat with an unofficial time of 6:29.95. Heat 4. In the waters, heat 4 of 12 for the men's 400 individual medley. In lane 1 is Philip Mayer, Swim Fort Lauderdale. Lane 2, Owen Lubeau, Conejo Valley Masters. Lane 3, Emmanuel Torres, Walnut Creek Masters. Lane 4 is Justin Reynolds, Longhorn Aquatics. Lane 5, Brian Kaiser, Colonials. Lane 6, Algernon Keith, Virginia Masters Swim Team. Lane 7, Ian King, Walnut Creek Masters. And in lane 8 is Reed Puzuski, Wisconsin Masters. And after the butterfly leg, Reed Puzuski from Wisconsin Masters with a split time of 1:13.62 is in the lead. Emmanuel Torres in lane 3 is gaining some ground from Walnut Creek Masters. Attention swimmers, somebody dropped a U.S. Masters Swimming National Champion patch. Please report to the announcer's desk if you dropped your patch. This looks like it's going to be a close race between lane 3 and lane 8. Next heat is heat 5. Lane 1 will be Mark Montgomery. Lane 2, Phil Dodson. Lane 3, Anthony Thompson. Lane 4, Dana Adkins. Lane 5, Larry Wood. Lane 6, Scott Tobin. Lane 7 will be Tom Burke. And in lane 8 will be Martin Vaccaro. And for those that missed the previous announcement, I still have a VIP meal pass with 1 hole punch in it and a Hilton Honors hotel key card. We also have a watch, Casio, and a U.S. Masters Swimming National Champion. So if you're missing any of these items, please report to the announcer's desk. And in lane 8, Reed Pazuski from Wisconsin Masters has pulled ahead. But lane 3, Emmanuel Torres is gaining some ground. And Reed Pazuski from Wisconsin Masters wins that heat with an unofficial time of 6:19.61. Heat 5. In the water, we have heat 5 of 12 for the men's 400 individual medley. In lane 1 is Mark Montgomery, Nova Aquatics. Lane 2, Phil Dodson, Illinois Masters. Lane 3, Anthony Thompson, Movi Masters. Lane 4, Dana Adkins, Club Tribe. Lane 5, Larry Wood, Longhorn Aquatics. Lane 6, Scott Tobin, UC. Lane 7, Tom Burke, Orange County. And in lane 8, Martin Vaccaro, Southern California. And lane 4, Dana Adkins from Club Tribe is in the lead with a split time for his butterfly leg of 1:18.70. And Dana Adkins from Club Tribe, after the backstroke leg, still has a commanding lead in lane 4. Next heat will be heat 6. In lane 1 will be Brad Harmon. 2, Andrew Adams. 3, Brian Weisbecker. Lane 4 will be Zachary Green. 5, Michael Doyle. 6, Jim Matisek. Lane 7 will be Matthew Yof. And in lane 8 will be Brendan Griffin. And Dana Adkins, lane 4, in his last leg of the 400 IM. And Dana Adkins, lane 4 from Club Tribe, finishes the heat with a unofficial time of 6:02.65. Good swim. Heat 6. In the waters, heat 6 of 12 for the men's 400 individual medley. In lane 1 is Brad Harmon, Lone Star Masters. 2, Andrew Adams, CMAC Masters. Lane 3, Brian Weisbecker, Mission Viejo Masters. Lane 4, Zachary Green, West Hollywood Aquatics. Lane 5, Michael Doyle, Lone Star Masters. Lane 6, Jim Matisek, Sarasota Sharks Masters. Lane 7, Matthew Yoff, Connecticut Masters. And in lane 8 is Brendan Griffin, Club Tribe. And after the butterfly leg, Brendan Griffin from Club Tribe in lane 8 with a split time of 1:13.07. And after the backstroke leg, Brendan Griffin still has a commanding lead in lane 8 from Club Tribe. Next heat is heat 7. Lane 1 will be Brock Sheila. 2, Scott Collier. 3, Mark Pallas. Lane 4 will be Christopher Johnson. Lane 5, Daniel Hobbs. Lane 6, Michael Thomas. Lane 7, Eric Hatch. And in lane 8 will be John Chambers. And after the breaststroke leg, Brendan Griffin from Club Tribe in lane 8 still has the commanding lead. And Brendan Griffin in lane 8 wins the heat with an unofficial time of 5:33.40. Heat 7. In the waters, heat 7 of 12 for the men's 400 individual medley. In lane 1 is Brock Sheila from Nova Aquatics. Lane 2, Scott Collier from Alaska Master. Lane 3, Mark Pallas from Swim Melbourne Masters. Lane 4, Christopher Johnson from Club Tribe. Lane 5, Daniel Hobbs from Sierra Nevada. Lane 6, Michael Thomas from Mountain View Masters. Lane 7, Eric Hatch from Sierra Nevada Masters. And in lane 8 is John Chambers from Agua Masters. After the butterfly leg, lane 5, Daniel Hobbs from Sierra Nevada Masters with a split time of 104.68 for the Hunter Fly. After the backstroke leg, Daniel Hobbs is still in the lead in lane 5. Next heat will be heat 8. Lane 1 will be Daniel Neal. 2, John Holbeck. Lane 3 will be Douglas Christensen. Lane 4, Greg Sanchez. Lane 5, David Popko. Lane 6, Brendan Herlihy. Lane 7, Daniel Gibbons. And in lane 8 will be Dan Borton. And Daniel Hobbs in lane 5 takes his last turn on the 400 IM. And Daniel Hobbs wins the heat with an unofficial time of 5:13.90. Heat 8. In the waters, heat 8 of 12 for the 400 men's individual medley. In lane 1 is Daniel Neal, Golden Road Aquatics. Lane 2, John Holbeck, Ukaipa Swim Team. Lane 3, Douglas Christensen, Oregon Masters. Lane 4, Greg Sanchez, North Carolina Masters. Lane 5, David Popko, Rose Bowl Masters. Lane 6, Brendan Herlihy, Mission Viejo Masters. Lane 7, Daniel Gibbons, San Luis Obispo Seahawks. And in lane 8 is Dan Borton, Rose Bowl Masters. Swimmers, if you have not checked in for any event 200 meters or more, you have until 7 p.m. to check in tonight for any event tomorrow. Deadline is 7 p.m. tonight for any event tomorrow. Please check in for any event 200 meters or more. After the butterfly leg, Douglas Christensen is in the lead. Unofficial time was 1:15.97 for the butterfly leg. After the backstroke leg, it's Greg Sanchez in the lead in lane 4. And he's from North Carolina Masters. This looks like a close race between lane 4 and 5. Greg Sanchez and David Popko. But lane 3 and lane 6 are starting to catch up. Wow, lane 3, 4, and 5. It's a close race. Lane 3 is Douglas Christensen from Oregon Masters. Lane 4 is Greg Sanchez from North Carolina Masters. And lane 5 is David Popko from Rose Bowl Masters. And it looks like it's going to be a fight to the end between lane 4 and lane 5. Lane 5, David Popko from Rose Bowl Masters is pulling ahead, but Greg Sanchez is right on his tail. He's trying to catch up. And David Popko from Rose Bowl Masters wins the heat with an unofficial time of 5:44.22. Heat 9. In the waters, heat 9 of 12 for the men's 400 individual medley. In lane 1 is Kenton Jones, San Diego Swim Masters. Lane 2, Jacob Robinson, York YMCA. Lane 3, Nathan Asher, San Diego Swim Masters. Lane 4, Branch Archer, Longhorn Aquatics. Lane 5, John Decker, Greenville Splash Masters. Lane 6, Brian Bergford, Colorado Masters. Lane 7, Michael Collins, Nova Aquatics. And in lane 8 is Carl Edgerton, Off-Piste Aquatics. And after the butterfly leg, lane 5, John Decker's in the lead with an unofficial split of 113.65 for the 100 fly. John Decker, after the backstroke leg, is still in the lead in lane 5 from Greenville Splash Masters. Next heat will be heat 10. Lane 1 will be Pablo Condi. Lane 2, Thomas Dion. Lane 3, Martin Garreau. Lane 4, Jeff Carlson. Lane 5, Jonathan Pierce. Lane 6, Joshua Schwartz. Lane 7, William Salber. And in lane 8 will be Victor Huerta. And John Decker turns for his last leg of his 400 IM. And lane 5, John Decker from Greenville Splash Masters wins the heat with an unofficial time of 5:30.66. Heat 10. In the water is heat 10 of 12 for the men's 400 individual medley. In lane 1 is Pablo Condi from Maiders A Contra Courant. Lane 2 is Thomas Dion, Reston Masters Swim Team. Lane 3 is Martin Giroux, Point Claire Masters. Lane 4 is Jeff Carlson, San Diego Swim Masters. Lane 5 is Jonathan Pierce, Golden Road Aquatics. Lane 6 is Joshua Schwartz, Rose Bowl Masters. Lane 7, William Salber, Sarpy County. And in lane 8 is Victor Huerta, San Diego Swim Masters. And after the butterfly leg, lane 5, Jonathan Pierce is in the lead with a split time of 1:08.32 for the butterfly leg. Next heat is heat 11. Lane 1 will be Cam Buckingham. 2, James Pokornowski. Lane 3 will be Juan Valdivieso. Lane 4 will be Ronald Hen. Lane 5, Labardo Mendez Ramirez. Lane 6 will be Kyle Power. Lane 7, Jeffrey Morris. And in lane 8 will be Thomas Dowley. And after the backstroke leg, Jonathan Pierce from Golden Road Aquatics is still in the lead in lane 5. Jeff Carlson from San Diego Swim Masters is trying to gain some ground against Jonathan Pierce. And Jeff Carlson is now in the lead, lane 4 from San Diego Swim Masters. Looks like it's going to be a battle between lane 4 and lane 5. Jeff Carlson and Jonathan Pierce. Jonathan Pierce is pulling ahead. Jeff Carlson's not going to let him. Ooh, outside smoker. Martin Giroux, lane 3. He's coming up from behind him. Point Claire Masters, lane 3. And lane 3, Martin Giroux out-touches them. Point Claire Masters. Oh, sorry, it was a tie between lane 3 and lane 5. Jonathan Pierce and Martin Giroux. Unofficial time of 5:25:87. Heat 11. In the waters, heat 11 of 12 for the men's 400 individual medley. In lane 1, Cam Buckingham, UC. Lane 2, James Pokornowski, Nickel City Splash Swim Team. Lane 3 is Juan Valdivieso, the Olympic Club. Lane 4, Ronald Henn, Dakota Masters. Lane 5, Labardo Mendez Ramirez, San Diego Swim Masters. Lane 6, Kyle Power, Ventura County Masters. Lane 7, Jeffrey Morris, Swim Long Beach. And in lane 8 is Thomas Dowley, the Olympic Club. After the butterfly leg, Juan Valdivieso from the Olympic Club, unofficial time of 104.56 for the 100 fly split. Next heat will be the 12th and final heat of the evening. In lane 1 will be Nathan Chenko. 2, Mark Andrew. Lane 3 will be Blake Woodrow. 4, Chad LaTourette. 5, Alexander Bezugli. Lane 6 will be Christopher Lanuza. Lane 7, Kurt Niehaus. And in lane 8 will be Christopher Stickle. And after the backstroke leg, it's James Pokornowski, Nickel City Splash Swim Team in lane 2. And after the breaststroke, Ronald Hent from Dakota Masters is now in the lead. And the winner of the heat is Ronald Hen from Dakota Masters with an unofficial time of 5:09.86. Heat 12. In the water is the 12th and final heat of the men's 400-meter individual medley. In lane 1 is Nathan Chenko, Stanford Masters. Lane 2, Mark Andrew, the Olympic Club. Lane 3, Blake Woodrow, Swim Fort Lauderdale. Lane 4, Chad Letourette, the Olympic Club. Lane 5, Alexander Bezugli, UC. Lane 6, Christopher Lanuza, Piratas Aguas Abiertas. Lane 7, Kurt Niehaus, Piratas Aguas Abiertas. And in lane 8 is Christopher Stickle from St. Pete Masters. And after the butterfly leg, Chad Letourette is in the lead with An unofficial time of 1:02:69 for the butterfly leg. The world record in this event for Chad's age group is 4:36:66, and the national record is 4:34:10. Chad still in the lead in lane 4 from the Olympic Club. Again, the national record is a 4:34:10, last achieved in 2001, and the world record was achieved in 2019 at 4:36:66. So let's see if Chad will beat it. And Chad's unofficial time is 4:42:50. Nice swim. Great swim. This concludes day 3 of the USMS Summer Nationals. Thank you to all the officials, volunteers, coaches, and swimmers. Just a reminder, if you have not checked in for any events tomorrow, 200 meters or more, please do so before 7 p.m. tonight. The dive well is now closed, but the competition pool will remain open for the next 30 minutes. It will close at 6:30. Competition pool will close at 6:30. Have a good night, everyone. Drive carefully.